it's still all a journey. I have to remember I'm 20 years old and I've hopefully got a long career ahead of me. So, you can't learn from winning every time. You've got to learn from losing every now and again.
Welcome to the SnowsBest.com podcast with your host, Miss Know-It-All Rachel Oakes-Ash.
Welcome to the SnowsBest It Takes a Village series, where we chat with not just the Aussie athletes heading to Livigno Winter Olympics in February, but the village of people that help get them there. From coaches to family members, judges, besties, officials, you get the gist. I'm very excited to welcome two sisters to the podcast today. There's a good chance these sisters will end up at an Olympics together. Now, if not Livigno, Milano, Cortina 2026, then in France in 2030. Welcome to the podcast, 20-year-old FIS World Cup mogul skier Charlotte Wilson and her 1 year younger sister, Abbey Wilson, border cross protege for Australia. Welcome, girls.
Hello, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We've been trying to get this together for a little while since that Fleetwood match at the Man from Snowy River at the beginning. Have you recovered from that night yet, girls?
I think so. It was a lot of good fun.
It was
a lot of fun.
Night.
Yeah, certainly a lot of good dancing. We'll talk, Charlotte, about your phenomenal FIS World Cup rookie season soon, but I really want to just get a sense of relationship between the two of you and how you work and grow together. So, you're a year older, Charlotte, is that right?
16 months older than Abbey.
Oh, let's not forget
very
those
close.
extra 4 months.
No, exactly. Very important. She's always kind of just felt like the same age, more or less, to me, I think.
Well, you look a lot alike. You probably get that quite a bit.
Yeah, we do. We get that we're twins a lot.
So what's your first memory of Abbey, Charlotte?
Oh, we were actually looking at some funny videos the other day. Probably putting on musical shows for our neighbours. I played the violin when I was about 4, and Abbey loved dancing for her whole childhood, and so we used to just create little shows and put them together and invite all of our neighbours in. And it's probably one of my first memories of Abbey.
Did you charge your neighbours to come and watch?
No, we didn't. But I think that would be a very Charlotte Wilson thing to do, actually.
Are you the business entrepreneur of the two of you?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm the organizer. I, have everything sorted. Abby just does her own thing, and I try and keep up.
So, Abbey, you're basically the youngest child.
Yeah, pretty much. I am the exact example of a youngest child.
Do you get everything your way, Abbey?
I don't think so.
Do you think she gets her own way, Charlotte?
Yeah, I definitely think my parents were a lot tougher on me as a kid, that's for sure. But I paved the way for Abbey.
How do you think that's worked out for you, though, Charlotte, with your parents being so tough?
I think it's worked out pretty well for me, although Abby's turned out pretty all right too. So obviously there's no one right way.
No, that's not. And your parents, I mean, I've met them. They're freaking awesome people, just quietly. They're definitely not pofos, parents of future Olympians. What did you learn from your mum? She's a school teacher, yep, and your dad is a builder, is that right? Yeah, what did you learn from them? I
mean, my mum's extremely competitive, so I think that both Abbey and I got our competitive streak from her, just from playing, board games as a kid with her, or watching her watch the footy is a pretty terrifying experience. Yeah, we definitely learned how to work hard and be competitive from mum, but dad is a lot of fun, and he's always just tried to instill that love for winter and love for the snow in us, and that's kind of why we keep doing it.
When you were little, were you competitive with each other, seeing as you've got such competitive parents, or at least your mum, Kelly, anyway?
We were competitive at home, probably not as much in sport. I was 2 years older than Abbey at school, so we didn't really, I guess, compete against each other at school much. But Abbey just kind of refused to play any sorts of games with me at home because I got too competitive. So
started a ban on it.
It's funny you say that, Charlotte, because when you had this sensational rookie season on the FIS World Cup that you had last year, a lot of people were saying to me, but that's Charlotte. Charlotte Wilson is a once-in-a-generation athlete. Charlotte Wilson is the most focused person we know, and Charlotte Wilson will always be determined to get what she needs to get, and she'll get it done. Is that how you would describe her, Abbey, or is that how you describe yourself, Charlotte?
I would 100% describe my sister like that. If she wants something, she will keep going until she gets it, regardless of what area it's in. Like when we were younger and she horse rode or we would play touch football, if she knew what she had to do to make the try or to force her horse over a jump, she was doing it no matter what. it wasn't a choice.
I like that. Wasn't a choice.
Yeah.
I love that, actually. Do you think that's what makes you an elite athlete? Do you think that's why you were so successful this rookie season? Is it the mindset, or is it the actual practice and the talent and the consistent repetition of mogul training?
I mean, obviously we do a lot of technical training, but I definitely think it's been the mindset that's gotten me to where I am. I mean, if you ask my coaches, they'd tell you pretty much every competition this year, the morning of competition in training, I did not put a top to bottom down. I was in shambles in the training. And then, I don't know, I just have that mindset that it's a comp run and I will be getting it down. And that's what I've been doing. So, yeah, definitely carried that from my childhood.
You say you're in a shambles of the morning of training before an event. Do you? How do you get your head together between that morning of shambles and standing at the top?
I journal every morning pretty much, which is nice to just get all my thoughts out. I mean, lots of people do it for technical reasons, but I like to do it to just say what I'm nervous about, and then I don't have to think about it anymore because I've written it down. But I don't know, my favorite thing to think about is, one, I just have to like make it through half an hour or make it through an hour because I get really bad competition anxiety. So like just reminding myself that, you know, it's just mogul skiing, you know, you have to survive an hour and then it's over. And then that kind of gets me just thinking about the task at hand instead of the result. And then I also like to remind myself, like on a normal day of training, I'm not doing my best top to bottom on my first run. You know, I'm doing a sections run to warm up and then I'm building into my tricks. So if I just use that analogy for my comp run, like my comp run should be the one where I'm doing, you know, my good top to bottom, but there's no reason for me to expect that from the first run of the day because I don't expect that in training. I've always, you know, wanted to succeed and want to be the best at everything. And I guess that's quite helpful in elite sport, but it also gets to the point where you need to chill out a little bit.
What do you do to chill out?
I got into Sudoku this season. That was pretty good. Just forget about skiing for a little bit. Lots of music, lots of dancing, hanging out with friends, trying not to take things too seriously.
I imagine there's quite a lot of expectation and pressure on you after last season going into this one. Do you have a particular plan on how you're going to manage that?
I am hoping to just approach it similar to last season in the sense that I learnt a lot. So I guess I don't have to be as nervous about all the things that I don't know. It's still all a journey. I have to remember I'm 20 years old and I've hopefully got a long career ahead of me. So it's still all learning and, you know, you can't learn from winning every time. You've got to learn from losing every now and again.
You spoke about performance anxiety. At what point in your career did you start experiencing performance anxiety?
I guess I've always been nervous, even just from interschools days once I was actually in a mogul program. But I mean, it got really bad at school, honestly, before exams. And then from probably year 11 onwards, it came into my skiing as well. That's
a lot to take on, isn't it? I mean, competition anxiety, anxiety for teenagers in school is a huge issue of late, particularly since COVID days. And then to feel that in your chosen career, is that something that you actively work on all the time? Or have you just gone, nope, this is the way I'm going to deal with it, putting that to the side? We've dealt with, I know what my management techniques are there now, so now I'm going to work on my other issues.
It's definitely a constant learning curve. I'm getting a lot better. I actually vomit when I'm nervous, so that's one of the things that I've just accepted is going to happen and move on. But I've been trying to, you know, fix the whole mindset part of really getting worked up and thinking it's the be all end all. And I'm constantly working on that, even in training, even in the gym, you know, getting nervous to do a PB lift, things like that. I just use all those little opportunities to work on some of those skills. But the vomiting, that just happens and I just roll with that.
Oh, do you just vomit onto the snow?
Yeah, pretty much.
Abbey, do you get competition anxiety when you're competing in bordercross?
I wouldn't say I get it as bad as probably what my sister does. I'm a little bit more quiet-minded in the gate. So as soon as I am in the gate and everything is set, I don't really think about anything else. And a lot of people say that is when I ride my best. So I try to shut it out. I can definitely get wrapped up in a lot of the bordercross scene at the top. And if I'm doing well, I can kind of hit the intensity curve and really get to the top and be very frazzled about my run. But yeah, I don't get it as much. I kind of have slowly accepted, that I am going to do the best run that I can top to bottom. And if it doesn't go my way that day, sure, it's frustrating, but I take what I can from that and then move on to the next. And it's pretty good because I usually have 2 days of races. So if I can't pull it out on one day, I pull it out on the next.
Border cross is quite brutal though, isn't it? It's not dissimilar to dual moguls in a way.
Yeah, it's very similar, I would say, in a sense.
I mean, at least I can't push someone over though.
Are you suggesting she does that deliberately?
I think Abbey probably gets pushed more often than she pushes, but there's less of the risk of that in duels at least.
Yeah. Although, remember that event this year that the boys were in? Was it at the World Championships or was it at Livigno? I think it was. And when Matt stacked it, and then Kaveh stacked it, and Ikuma stacked it, and Mikhail stacked
awful.
It. That was horrible, horrible. And
yeah, that was that World Champs.
Oh my God, it was terrifying, and it just looked like. I mean, I think Ikuma did his ACL and his MCL and probably his ankle and blah, blah, blah. And then it came to the end and it was Matt against, was it Benjamin, I think?
It was Philip, I think, because he broke his tibia the run before.
Yep, and he stood there and Matt went to ski, not realising the competitor was going to only do one turn and then go off course. Yeah. And, of course, Matt skied the whole thing, thinking full charge, thinking he was right behind him, and he wasn't. And then Akuma did the same to Mikhail. That was, like, crazy. So, I mean, that just was injury after injury after injury. But as a spectator, it was sensational.
There was definitely a lot going on. And it kind of showed how extreme the sport is, I guess.
It's really extreme. Do you prefer single moguls to duels, or do you prefer duels?
I prefer single moguls, honestly, but I don't think I've really had much duels experience. I mean, a majority of, I guess, my actual skiing career, it began in COVID when I first made the team. So we didn't get to travel as much. We didn't get as much competition experience as probably the rest of the world and the rest of the athletes in the team who are a bit older than me. So I definitely think I'm warming up to duels, but it's a learning curve for sure. I need to work on my starts.
Don't you love that, Abbey, that your sister goes, I'm warming up to duels? Not only did she win gold in duels, she beat world number 4, world number 3, world number 2, world number 1 to get there. She's like, I'm just warming up to it.
I'm not sure about it yet.
To be honest, I was actually watching live and the live stream, and I saw who you were up against. I think you were up against world number 4, Maria. Was it Maria? And I was like, it was really late. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculous here. And I went, it's okay. Like, this isn't going to happen. I went to sleep, right? And I woke up the next morning with all these people pinging me going, did you see what happened? And I was like, I cannot. Well, it is a good omen, right? So if you see me at Livigno and I'm asleep on the side of the mogul course, you know you're going to win, right? So
yeah, it makes it be a good day.
What do you think, Abbey? Are you going to go to Livigno?
I will definitely be there as a spectator for sure to watch my sister if I don't get the opportunity, because I would not miss that opportunity for the world. I am, as much as I love my sport and I love competing in mine, I refuse to not watch my sister compete as well. And that was actually one of my biggest almost regrets was the day that Charlotte won her duels in Livigno. I was training for a competition. It was like our official training day. And so I came back to the top. Like, I don't race with my phone on me at all. And I came back to the top and looked at my phone and I see like Charlotte Wilson, Jalen Koff as like the results come in. And I was like, I know that she's in a duel with Jalen, but like they just must not be uploading. And anyway, I like swipe up again. And I'm like, oh no, my sister's won a World Cup. And I burst into tears. My coach is down the bottom and he like radios me and he goes, Abbey, your sister's won a World Cup. And I was like, I know. I was in tears, like at the top of the course. My whole team's looking at me like, what is wrong with this girl? And I'm like, my sister's won a World Cup. So it was very exciting. And I need to see it like in person. I don't get to watch her compete enough.
So you'll definitely be in Livigno watching. Yeah. What do you think the chances are of you being in Livigno competing this season?
At the moment, I'm just going to keep pushing how I usually do in competition. I'm pretty lucky that I've been given the opportunity to go away and train early this year and really push for a spot there. It would be amazing. At the moment I'm fifth on the board, and I've only got 15 World Cup points to help me get there. So I really need to put out some good results in this first World Cup at the start of December. And yeah, we'll go from there. If it doesn't happen this year, I'm only 19. Like, it's really not that big of a deal for me. I'm always pushing towards 2030, and that's kind of been where my goal is. I would much prefer to have a 5-year cycle and push myself to get top 8 there than to, jeopardize everything and try and make it to Livigno. But it would be a dream come true. And I say it to everyone, if I got to show up at the games with my older sister and retake a photo that we took, 8 years ago now.
Tell us about the photo.
We took, our cousins live in Canada, and so we went and visited them in Whistler for Christmas. And obviously there was the Olympic Games in Vancouver, so they had the rings. And yeah, I think it was just really cute to go down and see those. I don't know, from my perspective, we were always a very sporty family. And, our mum played a ton of sports when she was a kid, and so did our dad. So the games were kind of always a thing in our house, regardless if Charlotte and I wanted to go to them or not. So it was really cool to be there and just see the rings and be like, okay, like this could be a potential. For me, when I was 11, I was never like 100% I want to go to the Olympics for snowboard cross. But I think seeing them kind of lit a fire, and I was like, I want to be, the kid from Jindabyne, along with the somewhat 30 others that show up at the Olympic Games and with the Oz gear on.
What is it about Jindabyne? Like, seriously, what is in the water? You've got
know.
Josie Bath, Adam Lambert, Abbey, Charlotte Wilson.
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty lucky to have the access that we do, especially with the new training facility down there for the last few years.
Yeah.
And we've raised a lot of good athletes in the last couple of years, so it's nice to keep the legacy going.
Do you remember your first falling out, your first fight? Because you must fight. I mean, your sisters.
Oh, we fight all the time. I mean, I used to fight with Abby because she wanted to play with her dolls all the time, and I wanted to climb trees, and she would never climb trees with me, and that was like the bane of my existence.
Abby, what do you fight with Charlotte about?
Oh, I think most of the time it used to be like, get out of my room fights, or like, I don't want to hang out with you right now fights. Exactly the same as what Charlotte said. None of it was like, in true sister fashion, it was always a 5-minute shout, and then you'd walk into each other's rooms and be like, I'm sorry, like, do you want to go make cupcakes? And that's how we would resolve most of our things.
Yeah, or it's wearing each other's clothes or unpacking the dishwasher. I think that covers pretty much all of our fights.
Yeah, it's pretty standard though, isn't it? No one ever wants to empty the dishwasher.
Oh, no.
Imagine if you didn't have one, you'd have to fight over who's going to wash up. So when you're on tour, do you speak to each other all the time or not at all?
We probably don't speak to each other as often as we probably should, but we'd love to have a little like hour-long catch-up every couple of weeks where we FaceTime, and I pretty much talk to everyone in Abby's team because she just puts me down and gets distracted, and then I chat to everyone, and then Abby comes back and she's doing her makeup or she's cooking dinner at the same time. I think it's a bit easier. We definitely chatted more last year because I got to spend more time in Europe.
Yeah.
While usually I've always been in North America, and then the time zone makes it really difficult when Abby's in Europe. Mm-hmm. But we Snapchat a lot.
Yeah. Well, that only lasts 24 hours, doesn't it?
What she can't keep embarrassing photos of me forever.
No, you can. Particularly, no, you can. We need to see them later. What do you adore about each other? What does Charlotte have that you wish you had? Apart from a FIS World Cup gold medal.
Apart from a FIS World Cup gold medal and a rookie cup, 2 dream things I would love to have. I always love her like drive for things, like that constant, like what we were talking about before, her decision, and just if she wants it, she'll go and get it. I think sometimes I'll push for it, but I can be a little reserved, just because I don't know. In my sport, I kind of don't think so. Nothing is a problem on course, but for her in the gym or she doesn't want to do something, but she knows she has to. Those are the sorts of things that I look at her and I'm like, wow, like that's who I want to be like. And obviously as a little sister, you're always going to look up to your big sister. So that I get to look up to her not only like as a role model in life, but in sport as well is so special.
Charlotte, what do you wish that you had that Abbey has?
That was really nice. That's tough to follow.
It's nice, isn't it? It's really warm. Lovely.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
Love it.
I love how much fun Abby has. I mean, she makes me have more fun and actually think about what I'm doing as less of a job and more as, wow, I'm really lucky to be doing this, which is really special. And it's good perspective because a lot of people don't get to do what we do. And sometimes, you know, it's hard, but I mean, I could be sitting at a desk and Abby kind of brings that out of me, which is really cool. And then I was going to say how hard Abby works. She thinks I work really hard, but yeah, she just puts her head down and goes to work. And I think that's really awesome. It makes me feel bad, and then I have to do it too. So
It's just a never-ending circle.
You said, Charlotte, that she helps you see it as more than just a job. Do you think that what you're doing is a job?
I'd like to think so, because otherwise I feel very unemployed. I'd like to think it's a job. We work very hard.
Yep.
For probably no pay, really. Definitely takes up a lot of our time, which makes it difficult to have any other sort of job. So I see it as a job. But, yeah, Abby makes it a fun job.
I mean, you do get a giant novelty check at the end of the season from Pete Farris, don't you, from XTM when you won all those things?
Yes, that is pretty cool.
Do you get to keep the novelty check, the giant check? Do you get to keep that?
Yeah, you actually do. I had to take it on the plane home from Melbourne, obviously, because I had to go back to Sydney. And I had to carry it on because I only had carry-on luggage. And I was like, I'm really sorry, but don't ask any questions.
So let's talk about how you moved from skiing to horses, but no, from skiing to bordercross, Abby. Like, when did you start snowboarding?
I've always like had a little bit of an interest in snowboarding since I was a kid. I did, you know, there's very old photos of me when I would have been 5 or 6 on a snowboard, but we were lucky enough to go to Japan for a family holiday one year, and our dad snowboards. So it was just 3 skiers and a snowboarder, and I said to him, Dad, I want to learn how to snowboard in Japan. That's what I want to do. And so I first learned how to snowboard at night skiing in Rizutsu Resort, I believe. And I kind of fell in love with it from then. And yeah, when Charlotte moved to Perisher to join OzMSA, I decided that I would start the snowboard program in Perisher as well because we were both at Thredbo beforehand. And yeah, from there, I just started to snowboard more and more often, and then got into the race club with PWSC. And then from about 12 years old, I remember doing my first snowboard cross race, and I wasn't super sold on that 3 other people would be racing next to me also trying to win, because I was like, this is my race, I want to win, like, we go away. But now, from that first race, I have decided it is way more fun when there's 3 other people trying to win.
Yeah, look, it's interesting, this whole pressure on Olympics at every 4 years, because personally, I think that a Crystal Globe is the elite award to get because it shows you've been consistent right the way across the season. Same as being Rookie of the season because, you know, you're the first Australian to get a medal within less than 10 starts. That's very impressive. But to me, I always go, if you've got a Crystal Globe, that just shows your consistency. Whereas an Olympic medal, now don't quote me if you actually do happen to win one, Charlotte. But if you don't, whereas an Olympic medal is like, oh yeah, you were good on the day, that one day every 4 years, you know. So how do you feel? What's the big thing for you too? What's the one award you really want to get?
Oh, I'd love a world champs medal. Yeah. Honestly, that would be incredible. Yeah, I think the triple globe would be pretty awesome to finish your season with. Yeah, honestly, that's kind of, I think, the epitome of mogul skiing is to win all 3 globes. So
yeah, Jack's back on course now, so she'll be there. You'll be training with her this season, I'm imagining.
I mean, not many people get to say they get to train with an Olympic gold medalist every day, and hang out with them. Now you get to go to coffee with Jakara Anthony. That's pretty awesome. But I've definitely learned a lot from her, and just being able to even watch her train, not even Like, I mean, I ask her the stupidest questions as well.
Like what?
Just
What
getting
do you
to
ask her?
watch. Well, at my first World Cup, the one thing I was really stressed about was what do I do in the finish area with the camera? And that's literally all I could think of. And I was like, Jakara, like, I really need your help. What do I do with the camera? And she just burst out laughing. And she's like, don't worry, they tell you what to do. But that was all I could think about. And it's silly things like that.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
you know, it should be common sense. That's what I ask her.
Abby, if you could say anything to Charlotte if she wasn't your sister and you knew that she was competing at Livigno, what would you say to her?
My main thing I would say to anyone is, you know, give it to them. Like, put everything down on that course. I think that's my like one go through in life is if you aren't getting to the bottom of your course, like gassed and, you know, can't breathe, can't move, and you've put it all out on the course, that's all you need to do. Doesn't matter after that. But yeah, I'd tell her to give it to him. After that season, if I was a fan watching, I would be so stoked. I mean, I am a fan watching.
God.
I'm just lucky enough that I've shared a house with her for 19 years.
That's so nice. You heard it here first, everyone. Give it to him.
Yeah.
Give it to him.
Give it
That's
to
going to
him.
be that. We need stickers. We need bumper stickers. Give it to him on it.
We do need
Girls,
stickers.
Abby and Charlotte, I can't thank you enough for spending some time with us today. It's been a joy to hear how the two of you relate with each other and how it helps you and doesn't hinder you on the FIS World Cup circuits and also in your own personal lives. We wish you all the best in the coming season. I'm sure we'll talk again. And Charlotte, I think you're off to Ruka. Where are you off to? Oh, no, Levi. Levy?
Yes.
I never get it, so I
Yeah,
never say it
Levy.
properly. The place that stores snow, where
Yes.
Lydia Lassila will be, I'm sure. And
Yeah.
Abby, where are you off to next?
I head to Adelaide for a cycling camp and then to South Bay in November, which will be very fun.
Yeah, that's lovely in Switzerland. All right, girls, thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for listening to the SnowsBest.com podcast. If you like what you hear, be sure to review and subscribe via your favourite podcast platform. Like at Miss Snow It All on socials and hit up the SnowsBest.com website for all your snow travel banter. This episode was produced on the land of the Gundungara people. We pay our respects to the elders, past and present.